understand or try to learn the right way of meditation or some special kind of meditation. Sometimes people don't start. They say, I don't know. I don't want to make a mistake here. I have never walked the spiritual path. I don't want to make a mistake. I just want to learn first. And sometimes a year goes by and we never learn and we never start. Don't wait for any mantra. If you know something, is great. If you don't know something, try to learn. If you don't have time to go somewhere, wherever you are, just close your eyes and try to get connected with the divine. Just with simple prayer. Oh Lord, before you start your dedicate your day. Oh Lord, this is your day. This is your day. Guide my action. Speak through my voices and make my hands as your tools. And start the day with this simple prayer. I know one Swamiji in the jungle, only 5 things he used to say. Hey Prabhu, मैं आपके शरणागत हूँ. Oh Prabhu, I am in your shelter. I surrender to thee. मेरे मन और बुद्धि सब आपको समर्पित हैं. My mind, my intellect, my senses are surrendered to you. मेरे सब कर्म सब आपके शरणागत हैं. All of my karmas are dedicated to you. And fruits of और मेरे सब कर्मों का फल आपको शरणागत है. The fruits of all of my actions is dedicated to you. मेरे सारे विचार आपको शरणागत हैं. All of my thoughts are offered to you. So simple. And this is the best way, surrender to the divine. When she was talking about the pumpkin story and the mango story, sometimes we forget. We say, His plan is not the perfect plan. God, just once, please, just once. If you can fulfill my wish, then everything will be perfect. Then everything will be super, great, as everything was going wrong before that. Only one thing we have to understand, because we cannot see the bigger picture. We only see the small picture, the part of the picture. And in that part of the picture, we try to fit everything, try to see everything. When this plan fails, we fail. We think we fail. Have a faith in the plan. There is a bigger picture. There is a bigger plan which we don't understand because our intellect, our senses are very limited. And plan is very big. Plan is very huge. And that's why rather than try to understand the plan, the saints and the seers says, just surrender to the plan. Let it happen. He is omnipresent. He is omnipotent. All we see, all we sing. But then we forget and we just keep making our plans and keep putting those prayers in front of Him just to fulfill that plan. We were taught every day in the morning, and even today that is being taught and sung in our ashram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram kahiye, jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahiye. Chant the holy name of the divine and accept the divine will. Very simple. Accept the divine will. Not my will only, but thy will. And to have that understanding, to have that faith, the rishis and the seers gave us this tool, prayer. And prayer is calling back home. Prayer connects you to the home, the true home, the real home. And when you talk to God, it's prayer. And when God starts talking to you, it's meditation. Just wait for that moment when He starts talking to you. And this happens. But mostly, even in our prayers, we are not there. In our prayers also, we are gone. Even the mantras are being chanted, a rosary is in our hand, hymns are being chanted, but our minds is gone somewhere and shopping. When we are shopping, our mind is not with the divine, but when we are with the divine, our mind starts shopping. Goes to the supermarket, goes to Kmart. આજે તો સેલ છે, એટલે ત્યાં શરૂ થઈ જાય સેલ. Sale will be open 9 o'clock, but our prayers are 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, but sale starts there. 60%, not 50%. Yeah. When you are connected to the divine, just be there for a few minutes. And why we are not there? Because these deities, these murtis, are mere murtis to us. The moment they become the true manifestation of the divine, the real manifestation of the divine, your mind will not wander. I can share with you, people even come to banks of Ganga sometime. Even their mind, after a few minutes, if some noise takes place, their mind goes there, their eyes are open, they start looking at what is happening. Even taking bath in the Ganga, people are not focused. Their mind really is amazing. To bring focus and center in our mind is only way. Surrender. Surrender and leave everything for a few minutes. And it's not that when you have left those things, then they will not come back to you. Just tell them, 15 minutes, please leave me alone. I leave you there, I belong to you, you belong to me. Don't worry, I'll take you back. But please go, don't bother me for 15 minutes. Talk to them. And leave them alone. And then start a dialogue with the divine. Slowly, gradually, keep the eyes open. Keep trying to see the divine face of the divine. And slowly, gradually, when you have that picture in your eyes, close your eyes and try to see the divine when the eyes are closed. Few times have this practice on and you will see whether the eyes are closed or open. Wherever you will see that divine picture. If you see somebody paying full attention, somebody going through the market, see in the shopping center, and then you look around, just 2 or 3 times you have seen that person, you have a dream of that person. Right? You have a dream of that person. Just mere looking 2 or 3 times, you look around and it goes in. You have a focus there, even you can see that person in your dreams. And if you pay the same attention, same focus to the divine, believe me, not only in your dreams, when you are awake, this stage also, in awakening stage also, all the time that connection will be maintained. That connection will be there. And with that connection, you will have the true strength. And this connection is like a broom which sweeps out our home. Prayer also cleans our heart, purifies our heart. When the glass is dusty, you can't see it through. Through the prayer, you every day clean this glass of your heart. When this glass is cleaned, dust is over, you can see the divine also the same way. And prayer helps there. And what to chant in that prayer? As I said earlier, don't worry. Have the faith, and with that faith, if you chant mantra or no mantra, be there, your heart will work. There is a beautiful story of a child. Father took him to the temple. When he came to the temple, everybody was praying, chanting the mantras. Hymns were being chanted. Priest also chanting the beautiful mantras. The innocent boy listening to everything, watching everything, watching the face of the divine. And the time came when the priest said, now there is a time of silent prayer. Everybody closed their eyes. Now the child also closed his eyes. Now he was thinking, what to chant? He said silent prayer. But what to say in that prayer? He said, I don't know anything. And he started having the dialogue in his silent prayer. Oh Lord, I don't know any prayer. I don't know any mantra. I have not learned Sanskrit. And I don't know how to make it the prayer. But I have learned only one thing. As alphabet A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And he silently started chanting the prayer. When he started chanting the prayer, saints describe this story in such a beautiful way that God is more happier with that child's prayer. Even there is no mantra, there is no story, there is no hymns, but innocent child has sang alphabet and said, oh God, I don't know which prayer you like the most. You make your own prayer which you like the most through this alphabet. And anyway, whatever the mantras we compose, they come out of this alphabet. Why? God is more happier with that child ABCD because the heart is there. You could see at the child's face the serenity, the calmness, the peace, the surrender, the devotion, the piety, the purity, and that what counts. And this is the fruit of the prayer. That this gives you that faith. It increases your faith, it blossoms your faith when you sang those prayers with sincerity. The fruit of the prayer is faith, and the fruit of the faith is love. And faith can move any mountain, they say it. It's the faith which changes the heart. I have seen when I was in tsunami areas, we were working in the tsunami areas. Everything was taken away by the ocean. The family members, the house, the possessions, whatever prosperity they have, those fishermen, everything was taken. Some of the members were saved, and those people so shattered, so much broken, crying all the time. They were so afraid to even go to the ocean. That ocean was their livelihood. They would go to ocean every day, bring the fish, sell to the people, and that was their livelihood. Now they were so afraid to go back to the ocean because of tsunami tides. Tsunami was gone. but the fear was still there. And 13 days went and they were not ready to go to the ocean. And we tried to bring food, we tried to bring clothes and so many things, and tried even one kitchen, then second kitchen, then third kitchen. Then later on we had a kitchen for 30,000 people every day, having 3 meals. But they have to go back to the ocean. How long you can feed them? How long they can depend on others? So our purpose was to how to take them back to the ocean. We talked to them, we explained to them, but they were not ready. One day, the idea came to me, why not take them to the churches? Because the churches were there, they were Christian, they were Hindus, they were Muslims. Why not to take them to their faith centers, where maybe their faith can come back, and then fear will disappear. When I talked to them, they were so angry. They said, no more God. We don't believe in God. God has taken everything away from us. Where is God? There is no God. Explained to them, talked to them, healed them, and brought them back one day. When we brought them one day back to the temple, back to the churches, the lamp was lit, prayers was sang, we had devotional bhajans and the meditation. Slowly, gradually, I could see the faith was coming back. As faith came back after a few days, now we talked to them, let us go back to the sea. Still they were not ready. They were back but not ready. We ourselves brought all the boats. The boats were repaired because boats were also damaged. All the boats were repaired in the meantime. We sat in the boat ourselves, our Rishikumars, little Rishikumars. They also sat in the boat and we all went into the boat. Only one boat came with us, then the second, then the third. Second day, everybody, when they saw us, the faith is there, God is there, there's no more tsunami. Nothing happened to Swamiji or Rishikumars or anybody. And next day again they came back. Their faith came back. And since that day, they said, we don't want any food now. We don't want any shelter now. We will go. We will bring. And the good thing was, when they had first fish, and they were cooking in their own, because we gave them the stoves, the gasoline, everything. Look at their culture. When they had this first fish, and we were passing by from there, they said, Swami, Vanakkam, Vanakkam. They could not talk in English, but somebody was explaining and translating for us, and they said, please have meal with us. Look at them. When the faith came back, had a